go back and forth like this, or just raise your hand if you have any questions. I like doing these small groups so we can interact. You can ask questions, you can have some one-on-one attention, so feel free to let me know if you need anything in the practice. I do make these swings so they're really special. I don't know if you guys have been in a yoga swing before. Has anybody tried the yoga swing before in the past? Besides the ones that have been here. So just kind of notice, step behind the swing at first and notice that they're super stretchy. So some people like to plop down into them and they get really surprised. So these have a lot of give, right? So they're different. And these are all brand new swings. So they're going to continue to stretch as we practice. So we'll adjust them if we need. But just notice, go over with me that there's two daisy chains. So the things with the red lines on it, I call them daisy chains. They allow us to adjust the swing up and down. We have climbing carabiners that are really strong holding us. We have two handholds attached to that. Everybody should have two handholds. The carabiners holding the main swing. And then we have two leg loops. Okay, so we'll be doing different tricks and poses where we incorporate the leg loops and the handholds into it. If you've never done yoga before, you're going to be totally fine. So no worries, we're going to take it nice and slow. I just have the rope suspended from the ceiling to give us a little bit of extra height, and if that needs to be adjusted, I can just kind of swing it over a little bit, but it should be about, so yours can be a little bit wider. So I'll take care of it. So you just kind of lift it up and slide it over like a little lasso, but everybody else looks good. I kind of went through and adjusted them. Okay, good. So now we're going to step in front, put the swing behind our back, just right underneath our arms. Okay? Now, it's going to hug behind the heart. So we don't want it to ride up too high, so we make sure it's right below the bra strap. So kind of get it into position. Okay? So you want to talk to me if you have any questions.
Sorry.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Do you want resistance?
No, nothing yet. Just put it gently behind the heart. Okay, so if you need assistance, then I'm the person to talk to. And if Amy comes around, she's only going to be cueing you with like a little bit of touch. If that's okay, you can always say no thank you. But we're going to try to keep all the attention here, especially learning something new, right? We just want to keep our full attention. So now we're going to sit straight down. So let the swing hold you. Lean back, right? And now drop your hips. This is the key, is to drop the hips. So sit straight down and lean back. Now the hips can be low. So if you push your hips up towards the sky, it's okay. You're just missing out on getting all of the length through the side body. So I call these the upright positions. That's great. So we're holding on by our arms. This is something we're not used to doing, so we have to adjust to something new. And the swings are stretchy, right? So we might feel lower than we're used to. We can always bring the swings up if we need to. I'll probably bring your swing up for you. I'll bring your swing up for you. If you're feeling like your hips are level with your knees and you're comfortable, then we're just going to keep you there. We don't have to be super high off the ground. We can be super low if we want. There's many different ways of using the swings. But what we want to do is get the mat right underneath us. So the circular mat allows us to kind of like trace the shape of the poses. And our feet are about 45 degrees out and at the edges of the mat. So this is called a sumo squat. Now, if you're wondering how you can take pressures off the shoulders, so this is not the pose. If you see your friends like this, you're like, oh God, that looks uncomfortable, right? So what we're going to do is press straight back, lift the hips, lean back, get the swing low, right? Wiggle it down behind the heart, and now sit down again with a forearm press. Okay, just try it. Press your forearms into the swing. There you go. That's it. So that's how we can kind of lock the swing in place. Does that feel a little bit better? All right? Okay, great. So if you're comfortable, just stay here and wiggle a little bit from side to side. I'm going to take a moment to adjust the swing for these two people. Okay? So come on out for me nice and slow, and I'll bring the swing up one for you. So I'm just going to do this one at a time. Go try to adjust the swing yourself. So if you can keep the hips nice and low, you get the length through the spine. And I made the swings to support the body in doing back bends and inversions. So I found that there's a lot of pain and compression in parts of the body for people who sit a lot or work at the computer, blah, blah, blah. So if we allow the swing to actually let us hang, we'll get a lot of relief, especially through the lower back in this position. Try this one, okay? Let's do this one a little bit higher. So coming out nice and slow. You doing okay down here?
Yes, great.
Super good. Awesome. Everybody else feel okay for the swing position? You can always let me know if you need anything. Great. Let's try that. See how it feels. Just put it behind your back. I'm going to watch you. First, sit straight down. Engage the shoulders. So we let there be space between the shoulders and the ears. Really good. And drop your hips all the way. There you go. So let's bring your swing up and Jasmine. Let's bring your swing up, Jasmine. I think because it's a brand new swing, as you continue to stretch, it'll grow. As like a pair of jeans, so let's just bring it up. Great. So everybody that's just hanging out, if you ever need a break, just push back. Right, bring your arms up overhead, and you can relieve any pressure on the arms that way. Oh yeah. And it's nice to get into a supported back bend anyhow, right? Let's see if I can get the music today. Alright. Yeah.
I think it's just volume.
No, the volume's up. It just sometimes takes a break. So I'll just play it from here. There we go. And we're back. Okay. Is that feeling okay? Pull your shoulders down your back a little bit more. So the swing, instead of the swing being at the armpits, the swing is going to be below the bra strap. So just try that. Yeah, and see if you can get it to hook. And then when you sit down, you use your form. Perfect to hold it there. It's going to be a totally different, so notice where my hips are. So mimic, yeah, there you go. And it's going to be different. We're not used to hanging by our arms, so we have to, like any new relationship, just get into it slowly, build some trust. Sway from side to side to just get a feel for the momentum, the angular momentum that we can have with the swing. Beautiful. And right now we can try and sync up, so we're all going to bend. Let's all go to the right. Then we're going to push back, and we're all going to go to the left. It's really nice, kind of like little pushies when we start to sync up. And then I'll push back. Go to the right. Really good. Nice, guys. Hold it there. Press back. Hang out in a little lunge. So we're starting to stretch the hips, right? Exhale back. Inhaling forward. Hang out. Exhale back. Beautiful. Other side. Now let's just stay here for a moment and pulse. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure my feet are wide enough that my knees feel good. And I'm stretching into the hip flexor. So that right hip flexor, as we push it forward towards me, all of our weight stays hanging. You can feel it start to open. So this is how we can take something that we do in yoga, what I call yoga translations. So you want to walk your foot all the way to the edge for me? There you go. Perfect. So we have a nice wide stance. And so instead of coming up into like a warrior two pose, we're just going to hang out and pulse into it and feel what happens through the legs. It's a totally different sensation. And then we come back, and let's do second side. So now stretching into that left hip. And if at any time your leg loops are kind of getting on your nerves, we can always thread through, which is another way to just kind of get them out of the way. If they're not bugging you, you can just leave them where they are. And you can actually just hold on to them too and still keep the forearm press. Lots of different options. So I call it aerial yoga play because there's infinite ways to play and experience this swing. As long as it feels good, you're in the right position. Very good. Let's come back to our sumo squat. Let's all take a break, right? We'll take frequent breaks off the arms and come into a supported back bend. So what we want to do here is feel the spaciousness in the lower body. So lower back is totally happy. And then from the upper thoracic spine, that space right behind the heart, we're going to lean back, open up the arms to angel wings, and then clasp the hands behind the head. So now the neck is happy. Right? So let's try and bend from side to side. So let's bend the left knee, bring the left elbow towards the knee, and just hold. You can pulse. So notice the difference between holding a pose, kind of locking in, and pulsing, which means you're just using the momentum of the swing to come in and out nice and slow. And then inhaling back, exhaling, bend the right knee. Right elbow comes towards the knee and we just pulse. So easy breezy to begin. So when possible, you're going to be looking up towards the sky and relaxing the head. I know you're going to look towards me to check it out, but then relax back. Just see if you can catch the verbal cues and let there be length through the cervical spine. So it's like I'm pulling on the back of the skull, like up towards the corner of the room. So I stay on that diagonal. Inhaling, press back, pause. Exhaling one more time, bend that left knee, left elbow. It's not going to touch, right? But it's coming in that directional. And lean back. So heart is pointing up towards the sky. There you go. That's it. Just feel that difference. Forward back bends to begin. Inhaling, press back. Exhale again. Second side. Right elbow comes towards right knee. Leaning into the diagonal. Pulling on the occipital bridge. Creating length through the back of the neck. Does that feel good, everybody? You can do ooh and ah, It's okay to be interactive. Really good. Very nice. Okay, we're going to come back down. We're going to heel toe the feet together. We're going to use our forearm press, which just kind of helps us go deeper into the twist. We first drop the hips and pull up the toes. So we're basically reviewing the training that we did for the last couple of days, so the new trainees can get a sense of how people respond to it in space. So thank you for letting us be our guinea pigs. Okay, lift the left knee up, right? We're going to come into a twist, so roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, flex the toes back. Now you can step the foot by the knee, but a deeper twist is to step it closer up by the hip. Yes, really good. Now push strongly with your arms and then relax the hips down towards the ground. Ooh la la. Do you guys feel that? The whole side body opening? Smile if you can, even though it's intense. It's like, oh my God. So we usually don't get this deep into the body, even if we do a lot of yoga. So it will be an intense burning, tearing sensation as the fascia, the connective tissue starts to open. But see if you can relax into it a little bit. Really nice, guys. Inhale, pull that knee back up into the chest, straighten the legs out, flex the feet back, drop the hips. Just get a nice hamstring stretch there. Press the hips back up. Inhale, lifting right knee. Roll into the outer edge of the left foot. Step closer to the top of the hip. Very good. This is okay, but this would be better, right? You can feel more of a right angle with the lines and the bones stacking. Pressing strongly with the forearms. Twist and look over the opposite shoulder. So gaze goes towards the right, knee goes to the left. Drop the hips straight down. Dropping the hips and relaxing here, staying engaged but relaxed is what this is how we get the maximum stretch. Nice deep breaths. Very good. We're just going to show you some yoga translations. This is the same as doing a reclined twist on the ground. Free up the arms. Inhaling, swing the arms overhead and come into your fullest expression of a back bend. Take a breath here. So feet are together now, right? Press strongly into the ground, clasp the hands behind the head. This is called chillaxin arms. And then let's come into another version of weeping willow. So now we keep the legs straight, and we're just going to sway from side to side. And let your upper body just float and fly. So again, our gaze is up. Our heart is like a light shining towards the sky, and our head is relaxed. Okay? 5 deep breaths here. So don't worry about synchronizing. We have plenty of room if you come into bumper cars with your neighbor. Just apologize in advance, but otherwise just give yourself a few minutes to play and explore and experience the swing. That looks great, everybody. So we want to keep the swing in that happy space right behind the heart. Yeah. And it will be intense. We're recalibrating the posture. And so a lot of the sensitivity up in the pectorals and the space underneath the arms, the subscapula, it's just not used to being so engaged.